So let me click that on. All right, so welcome. Today's Tuesday, February 9th. Had to think about it for a minute. You are here. Hey, Leslie. I did get your email, by the way. I looked at that just before I got on here, and I'll get back to you after this for sure. But I liked them. Especially like the last one with all those leaves that you had going on. So yeah, I'll get back to that. So today, Berry Blessings Part 2. So for this class, we are making 8 cards, and we're doing 2 batches of, so we're doing 4 designs, 2 cards each. And just to go over quickly again, the class itself, before we jump into the next 2 cards. Yesterday I did the first 2. Today I'll do the next 2. Oh, and here's, I just found that. I had to go rush and print this out again because I couldn't find it. Ugh. All right, so the class, Berry Blessings. You need the Berry Blessings bundle for this to make these cards exactly as I am. If you are not interested in that, you can use any stamp set you want that will go with the cardstock colors. But the Berry Blessings bundle, this is a 12 by 12 pack of paper and the stamp set. This is a celebration item. It's a $100 purchase choice for the celebration. So that's what we're using for this class. If you don't have it, you can use this Hostess code, place your $100 order, and put in that Berry Blessings item number, and you will get the class kit for free, the packet. You can get the packet only. That's $30. That does include shipping. And that's if you want to use other stuff. Hi, Marty. Thanks for sharing. So $30 includes the packet if you already have your own Berry Blessings bundle, or if you wanted to use something else. $60 includes the bundle because I did get some extras, so email me that. $60, that includes shipping. Then there's a PDF only. And just to recap real quick what your packet includes, you are going to get a tube of this Shimmery Crystal Effects. We've been using this. You're going to get a quarter packet of the Red Rhinestones, and those are useful all the time. And then you're going to get 3 yards of these 3 colors of ribbon. We've got Poppy Parade, Just Jade, and Blackberry Bliss. Those are all nice. These are colors from the paper pack, so they do coordinate. And then you're going to get the project kits for the 8 cards and your envelopes and the PDF. So the PDF will be emailed when I mail out packets. So, and then yesterday I wrote down these dates. So next Wednesday is RSVP and I need payment. Thursday, the 18th, I put the order in with Stampin' Up. I should get it anywhere between the 26th of February and March 1st. And then on March 2nd, I mail it out. So this is all dependent on receiving it. So if I get stuff, you know, on the 2nd or 3rd, I mail it out the next day. But I will be emailing and keeping people aware of, you know, the situation. But I will have everything cut and ready to go, just waiting on other materials. So that's quickly what we're doing today. And let me show you, I'll show you again just the cards that we made yesterday. We made the blueberries, and then we made these double front step cards with the strawberries. I really like them. And then you can write that right on the inside. Nice. So today, let's jump into it. We're going to make the first one. Let me just get some of this stuff out of the way. It's going to be a raspberry card. So you'll have your 2 envelopes. Now, remember, you're making 2 of each card. So I've already made this one. We're going to make this one together. You will be making both of these. Your kit will have both the materials. All right, let's move these around. So this one is a pretty simple layout. We've got a strip of designer paper that we actually cut a strip and flipped it over. So this piece, this was whole. Let's see, that fits together like that. And then I cut this strip off. So let's talk about measurements. And I wrote them out so you can pause it and take a picture or whatever you want. So we start out with, get this in the right spot. I need to see my camera, but I also, actually I should put it right there. So Blackberry Bliss, our card base, 5.5 by 8.5, fold it in half. So let's just go ahead and do that. Then we've got a white piece, 4 by 5.25. That's for the inside. And then we've got a piece of rich raspberry, the same size, 4 by 5.25. And that's what we're going to layer. Then you need a designer series paper piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that is this all together. Then you will cut off a 7/8 inch strip and flip it over. So like that. Now I will tell you, when you're cutting your designer series paper, 3 7/8, that's just, you know, that's like 1 notch down from 4 by 5.25. But I would typically cut this designer series paper off at 4 inches because you're more likely to use a 4-inch piece than 3 7/8, and then you can just trim it down. Does that make any sense? Just because 12 by 12 is, you know, 4, 8, 12, it's easily divided. 4 is a good measurement when you're dealing with 12 by 12 paper. So that's how I would cut your designer paper, but you know, you can do whatever you want. So we're gonna just tape these down. Oh, let's get back to this. Garden green, 2 1/8 by 3 inch. And then this is cut with one of the layering ovals dies, the scallop ones. And then white, 2 by 3. And then this is cut with one of these stitched shapes dies, the one that fits in here. All right, these are gonna be die cut for you though. This is just if you're trying to make it later and wanna know how big of a piece of paper did I need for that. All right, so that's our measurements. And let's get to assembling. So I started with taping. Oh yeah, Marty, I like these colors too. I like the purples and greens. They always get me. All right, let's tape this down. And I think, is this directional? I can't tell. I think so. Like these are the tops of the berries. So yeah, we'll say it's going this way. I don't want upside down raspberries. Although I know they can grow any which way. All right, now I'm gonna tape this on and I just have that thin border. Try to get that even. I'm not too worried like if they don't match up here because we're gonna add this ribbon. We're gonna tie that ribbon. All right, but that's looking pretty good. And whether you want the pattern to go this way, I kind of like that, or this way. I don't know that it matters much, but for some reason I like it that way better. All right, so tape. And then I'm just gonna butt this up to this edge of the paper to kind of keep it straight. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now you have a yard of this Blackberry Bliss satin ribbon. This is no longer available in the catalog, but I have it, so we're gonna use it, and it's perfect. So a yard, I wrapped it around the entire thing. So I cut a yard myself so I could, you know, make these cards and make sure that was really enough. You're gonna have plenty for your 2 cards. So let's just tie this around, and I'm just tying it in a knot. You can do a bow if you want. And I want the knot kind of like down here. So I'm not gonna cut the excess off until I'm finished tying. Just tug it. All right, and then I'm gonna whip this around. All right, and now I will trim it. And then you can scooch it around. Okay, I do like that. I wanna maybe scooch it a little bit lower. There. Now when you have ribbons, when you're tying them around your card like this, if you don't tie it tight and this is like too loose, like this is okay for me, but if something's really loose, what you can do is take a glue dot and stick it under there. And I'm just gonna do that to show you. But you take your, whatever tool you're using, pick your glue dot off and just slide it like right under where the knot will be. And then that's not going to go anywhere. So just a little tip if you don't get it tied really snug. Now you have this, you will have something similar to this maybe. So you can tie a bow with this. You can tie 2 knots and then cut them and have them to use for, you know, another card. You can use this strip, make like a ruffle, you know, ruffle the ribbon, where you would lay down tape and then just ruffle it back and forth. I can't really tell, or you can't tell what I'm talking about there, right? You can use it again. Let's just say that. So I'm not really going to throw this away. I'm just going to put it in my pile over here. All right, this is going to get popped up with lots of dimensionals. I like all these shades of green in here too, with all the leaves. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you the ruffle, what I'm talking about at the end. I'm going to get just a quick little scrap of paper that I can turn into a card. And then I won't sound like a crazy person. I can just show you what I was talking about. All right, so let's bring our card base back in. And I do have to pull this as close to me as I can just so I can see it. It's hard on the dark cardstock sometimes trying to see. Okay, that's good. All right, now let's do our greetings. And somehow that has a little schmutz there, but hopefully I'm going to stamp right over that. All right, actually let me put my white in so I don't forget that. I love this blackberry. Okay. All right, now greetings. So we're going to use, for the ink, we're going to use rich raspberry and blackberry and garden green. And let's see. And I realized yesterday I was pulling out all these stamps that between all 4 cards, I have used every stamp in this set. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so we've got our raspberries and our Blackberry Bliss, Rich Raspberry, Garden Green. Those look nice together. So I'm going to start with the greeting first because I want to make sure all that fits in there. And then I will stamp the other stuff around it. All right, so I'm going to try to get it. And actually, I got to pull this in. Try to get it straight. Okay. I know my bangs were probably in the way, but I really wanted to get that. All right, nice. And I still got it a little up, but that's okay. All right, now raspberries. So like I said, rich raspberry first with the solid image. So we've got a solid-ish, and then the outline. Actually, did I stamp this off? Yes. Trying to think now. It looks, you know what, maybe it looks darker because I put that Crystal Effects on it. All right, let's just go for it. I'm going to add 3 little clumps of berries. That's in the rich raspberry. And then Blackberry Bliss, I'm going to come back in and, oops, the comments are, I'm going to make them flip up. So now I'm just trying to eyeball, get that over. And I totally missed that one. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. That one's better. Not the end of the world at all. All right, and then I want some green. So I've got the little bit of leaves in here. And actually I'm using Granny Apple Green first. So the teeny tiny leaf stems. It is hard to see here, but there is a solid one and then an outline. So the solid, more solid one we want to be in the lighter color. And this, I don't have room. Let's see. This raspberry, if I put the stem here, I mean the leaves will be here, but the stem will go right there. I didn't want that, so I just came in this way, just so there's some color. And then this one, just peeking over there. I just wanted that, like, so there's something there. All right, Granny Apple Green. And then Garden Green, gonna go back in. And I went over that stem again. It really is different trying to do, as far as the angle, trying to see what you're stamping from not directly in front of you. Okay. Let me move these because I do need them for the next one. All right, now we're going to tape this down and then get out our rhinestones. So the red rhinestones, I don't know if you can really tell. They pick up some of the purple from underneath, but I also wanted to try to color them purple. So I took a black Sharpie and it makes it a little, sometimes your black Sharpie will have like a purple tint to it anyway, but the red still comes in like, you know, from underneath. So like it shines through red. It really does look purplish. I'll try to hold that up. So it looks kind of purpley. So I'm just gonna let that that dry for a minute. I should have probably done that from the beginning. So that could be drying. Whoopsie. So Sharpie, if you had the basic black Stampin' Blends, either the dark or the light, but I like the Sharpie. Okay. And I'm gonna pop this up as well. And I really need to use some of these other ones on the ends. So let's get those going. Did you guys hear that we might get more snow? Well, probably Marty, not you in Florida, but Leslie. I usually don't mind, but like last time it was like ice, and that's never good. So I'm not really looking forward to that, but that's supposed to be like later this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, so let's have this kind of mounted like right above the knot. And I did have it off to the right a little bit. All right, I gotta hold this up to see. Yep, it's straight. All right, so we want to put our blackberries or raspberries, whichever they are, put those down first, and then we will add in some of our Shimmery Crystal Effects. And I just put these like 3 on a clump on the same raspberry, just so they look like berries, you know? All right, now let's get our, gotta shake this to the bottom. Yeah, not much accumulation. So I was hearing like 1 to 3 inches or something. That does not make me happy. The 1 inch, fine. 3 inches, that seems to be a problem. All right, so I'm just putting this all over to get that shine. Now again, see how that, this is the Shimmery Effects, that's the Crystal Effects 2 clumping up. Well, not really clumping up. It's just from smearing it around. Let me get a scrap of paper. The fact that it's discolored is not a big deal. That's just from running it on the ink. So you just clean that up. And then put the cap back on. And like I said yesterday, I store this upside down like this, just so it's always there. But so that's our first card for today. And I do want to take just a minute and clean these off. When I use the purples, like the raspberry and the blackberry, they do stain the photopolymer stamps quite a bit. It doesn't affect the performance at all, but I just like to get them cleaned up. So see how this has a pink tint to it? Like, that'll never come off. And that's not the end of the world. Okay. Put those there, and the greeting. And then our leaves. Where did my other little leaf go? Oh, right here. All right, so for this next card, we are doing it's called a Joy Fold card. Let me move these away. Or out of the way, I should say. It's hard for me to tell which one. Okay, that's the new one. All right, so we've got our 2 more envelopes for our next 2 cards. And this is what we're making. So a Joy Fold, so this opens like this. A Joy Fold typically is like landscape. You would see it would open this way and then that way. But I figured let's just turn it around and have it open this way. I like it. So we've got 2 different sides of the designer series paper. And again, this is the same piece of paper. And we've got a couple of different pieces. So let's bring in our measurements. So we've got garden green. This is our card base. 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So notice that's not our standard 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. It's 4 1/4 wide, 8 1/2 long, and then we score it at 5 1/2. So this is typically, this is like our normal card base. So when we scored at 5 1/2, that gives us this little flap here. All right. Then we've got a 3 by 8 piece scored at 4 inches. All right. That's here. That is to make this little part, this flappy little card. So let me get my bone folder. Then we've got Granny Apple Green, 2 3/16 by 3 3/16. So this is, I like to cut down a 3/16 of an inch border. So this was 3 by 4, and then I trimmed it down. I just like that. So like a 1/4 inch is, this is a 1/4 inch border, and that's kind of big. I don't always like that. Sometimes I do. In this case, I do. It works because of the designer series paper, the way I had to cut that. But mostly I like a 3/16 inch. Seems like 1/8 of an inch is too tiny. So 3/16 is just that one extra little 16th. So, and you don't have to cut it this way if you don't want to. But your pieces are already going to be cut anyway. But I'm saying if you want to make it again later. So 2 13/16, 3 13/16. Designer series paper. We're using the strawberry, like the all fruity pattern. So, and I love that plaid. 4 by 5 1/4. That's our main one. And then another little piece that is 2 3/4 by 4. And then, oh wait, that's our Granny Apple Green. White, 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. This is going to go on the inside of our little card. So we have something to write on. And then another piece, 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. This is cut with the Stitch So Sweetly dies. That little rectangle scallopy business. All right, so that's our measurements. And that will be in, those will all be in the PDF anyway. I just realized I need that scrap so I can copy it. Okay, so let's start with mounting our designer series paper. So our card is folding up like this. So we're gonna put our strawberry piece. And if you wanted to switch these, you could certainly do that. Like if you wanted the bigger one here and that one there. Actually, in this case, I will do that. I'm gonna flip-flop them. All right, where's my tape? And I don't know if you can tell, but I certainly can. I said yesterday, when you're working with plaids, anything with lines, if you're off center, it's, hey Linda, thanks. It is a neat fold. I like the Joy fold. I don't use them enough. But I was saying, when you're working with plaids or diagonals or something, anything with lines, if you're not quite straight when you mount something, like it really stands out. All right, that I'm happy with, because this one, I didn't mount this card quite right, and I can really tell along here that it's like off. Bleh. All right, so let's put this one on. That should fit there. I have to do it this way. And again, when you mount this, pay attention to the direction of your fruit pieces. Like, since the strawberry heads and the raspberry heads are all facing that way, I'm assuming that's up. Okay. I am liking the difference on this. I'll tell you, I don't always. All right, now this is just, we're gonna stamp some different leaves as a background using Granny Apple Green. So we're gonna do tone on tone. Granny Apple Green, and I had some of the bigger ones, and I just realized I think I put away the other leaf yesterday, so I'm gonna have to pull that back out. And this is just to break up so it's not stark. Yeah, I did put and where did I put the stamp set? I just had that. Da, da, da. I feel like it was right in front of me. Oh, here we go. This is what I get for trying to like clean some stuff up as I go. Okay, so I need this little outline, just the outline. I'm not really doing any filling in, just stamping the outline. Randomly, because most of this is going to get covered up. But it's all around like the edges that we can see. And I feel like one more there. Okay. I am good with that. And I need to clean this off. And this bigger one. So let's mount this to our card. This piece is the one that's going to flip up like that. So let's take this down. And then I might as well just go ahead and tape the inside of my card while I'm here. And then we'll do our stamping on the scallopy part. And then then I will mount this part last, okay? So let's put this out of the way. In this case, I always try to start with the greeting and then work around it. So I'm doing that in Garden Green. And you can see, like, I wasn't paying attention with this leaf and stem because I stamped right over it. So, I'm still going to use it. All right, Bountiful Blessings. And this was kind of like off to the side. I need to pull this down, sorry. Okay. I wanted to make sure I got that straight because that would drive me nuts Okay, now this one, I'm gonna do the leaves first because that really is like the biggest image before I did the blueberries first. And that's where I ran into trouble. All right, so I'm stamping off once with the bottom. I'll just put that right there. And then I'm gonna do it again down here. And then I will come in with the outline over top of it and hope I got it close enough. Okay. And then we will fill in with, I'll do the blueberries next and then the raspberries. So for this blue, I'm using Pacific Point. Sorry. Actually, I need some coffee. Sorry. Pacific Point, and again, I'm doing the stamping off to get it a lighter color. And somehow I think these berries are supposed to line up. Maybe that way. Okay, nice. And then I'm going to, I just want to like add some more down there randomly. They can be hanging out with no stems. And then I will go full strength for the outline part. Not worried that I didn't get that perfectly centered. This is not the end of the world. Okay, I'm liking it. All right, and now for some more raspberries. And again, I'm gonna use the same Blackberry Bliss and Rich Razzleberry. So actually, I think I'm just gonna use Rich Razzleberry for this. So we're gonna do stamp off, and then we'll just get a little bit of it right there. Okay, good. And then the outline. And if you wanted to put strawberries on yours, or if you're using different stamps entirely, or actually if you didn't even have the stamps and you can cut some of the fruit pieces out of the different paper and add them that way, that's an option too. All right, now stems in the Granny Apple Green. So solid image, stamp off once. And this is really just getting a little bit of this stem on there. It's just for color. And actually, I'm just gonna put some down here, just so it filled in that corner a little bit, even though there's nothing to attach it to. That's fine. It's just greenery at that point. And then that little one, okay, I'm happy with that. Let's get all of this going, get that out of the way. Now this is gonna be popped up. So we're gonna get our dimensionals out again. This case, I'm gonna try, yeah, I'm gonna use these strips. And how long is that? All right, that's gonna work. Cut down to the end. I just realized I need to clean my scissors a little bit. And down here. And then I'm still gonna put a couple right in the middle. No saggy bits. All right, so I feel like I should mount this part first. Now this is just centering on this part. All right. And make sure this is gonna open in the right direction. And actually I'm gonna use glue so I can wiggle this around some if I have to. All right, again, I gotta drag it a little closer to moi. And this time I'm gonna pay attention to the plaid and use that as a guide. And I think that looks good. Using this green line. Okay. Yep, okay, I'm gonna call that done. Just holding it here for a minute. So then we've got, it flips up that way. Nice. I like it. I feel like I need to burnish this a little bit more. Yeah, so it stays down. So definitely give this card fold a try, even if you're not going to use like use it with the fruity stuff. All right, now let's just mount that on. All right, that's down. Now your ribbon, you have a yard of this Just Jade ribbon, and I would just tie a bow. I do have a machine, but I'm going to do, well, machine, it's 2 sticks, but I'm just gonna do it by hand this time so you can see. So I leave a tail about that long, make a little loop, and then come around and through the loop, just like, you know, I'm tying my shoes. Pull that, and then I just tug them and keep working them until I get the size that I want, and I'm happy with that. Oops. So I'm just gonna trim and trim. And you will have plenty of this left. All right, and then glue dot to attach this ribbon. And then the final step is we're gonna go back in with that, with the Crystal Effects. All right, I like it. All right, let's get some of this. And I just put this on the berries, but you could really, we could go in on the blueberries too. Why not? And I don't really want to get it all up on the ribbon, so I'm going to avoid that. I like the shininess that this gives. And just a little bit of shimmer. All right, so we're done with that. So that is our Joyful. That's our last 2 cards. And I like how these turned out different. I really do. I'm hard pressed to pick a favorite one. Like, I like the plaid. I like the plaid more so. Ugh, tough call. I don't know. Which one draws your eye more so? The one on the left or the right? To me, I'm leaning towards this one. But I don't know. Okay, so let me bring in the other 2. And I'm gonna fold that up. All this stuff still being wet is tricky. So here's our next 4 cards from today, the right and the left. See, funny that everybody has a different one. All right, so this is our Berry Blessings class, and if you make any cards, like, you know, if you use the design or the measurements or whatever, even if you use a different stamp set, please feel free to post pictures in my the Tony's Stamping and Sharing group, because that's what I want that group for, is for people to share what cards they're making. So I'd love to see your interpretations and what you make. And so Thursday is my regular live, and I'm just going to give you a heads up that I've got a really cool project planned. It's called a book box, and I've done the measurements. I'm going to show you a couple different sizes, but they're really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. So thanks again for being here, and I will catch you later. Bye.